Yeah, folks, it's time once more to open 100 collector's reserves. As always, opening tons of titles that we absolutely love and will totally use, and we're not being remotely sarcastic. Like Sumo Diet never wrestled. Can't wait to use that one. Hey, we are going to get some cool variants though, hopefully, and we'll put those said variants into a deck of 12 cards and try to win out of 3 games to see if we can win with a totally random variant deck, since you guys never normally get to see me use variants. Here we got a Dan Hip Super Giant. Yeah, it's pretty cool, I guess. A little more zoomed in, I feel like, than some of the Dan Hips. He usually does like full body, but I like it. We're up to 5 out of 12 Cosmic Hip Conquerors. Already got the credits reward though, so we don't care. All right, so let's keep going here. Wong Dan Hip portrait, speaking of. More tokens, can always use those. That's nice. I guess too, we always talk a little bit about Marvel Snap and like what's going on. Gaming by candlelight. I just don't know. You know, I'm feeling a little better about Marvel Snap these days, I have to say. Usually when I make these videos, I air some grievances, you know. I've done a lot of complaining about Marvel Snap over the years. I mean, it doesn't really seep into regular videos too much. Most of the time, I'm just having fun playing the game. But anytime I like discuss the game, you know, I tend to air some grievances. But I don't really feel like I have any major grievances to air right now. I mean, the same stuff is always kind of true. Matchmaking algorithm or Destiny. You know, I still think ultimately the game's kind of expensive and really hard for people to get back into, but they've actually, you know, they've done some good stuff lately. They've had a streak of like pretty nice things going on. There's some like new returning player stuff to get people back into the game better. They've been a little more generous with the game modes and stuff. I think maybe the game economy is the best it's ever been. You know, I think that's probably true for most players right now are feeling better than ever. That doesn't mean it's perfect yet or anything, right? Like still could always be improved, but I don't know. I'm like not as down on it as I used to be. I think a lot of the times my perspective too is like just a reflection of you guys, because I'm in like such a kind of like an ivory tower, they say, right? Like my experience is so divorced from reality because, you know, this is my job. I spend money on the game because it's my job. I don't even spend that much. I barely buy anything anymore, just the premium season pass. You know, but historically anyway, you know, it was fine for me to spend money. I bought everything as soon as it came out just to get it and play it on videos. And it's like, I just don't know what a normal experience is like. I just kind of read comments all day and try to reflect where you guys are at. I think generally most of you have been happier. So that's kind of, you know, been influencing my opinion too. I may be the influencer, but you guys often influence me in the world of Marvel Snap anyway. So yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm just not as negative. You know, it's funny. For a while there, you know, I know we talked about this in the past, how for a long time, Marvel Snap had like never reached out to me to like really do anything like in an official capacity or whatever. I always was kind of felt like left out or whatever. Really, that I didn't really care that much. I mean, I acknowledged that I was like just not involved in stuff much. The Zoltan Boros variant. I think Zoltan Boros does a lot of Hearthstone art, by the way. So that's fitting. If that's, I think anyway, or a name very familiar like that. I might just be confusing a different Zoltan or something, but it sounds familiar anyway. But anyway, you know, like shortly after all the Kid Omega stuff and like, you know, we all made some videos and stuff, and Second Dinner reached out and, you know, tried to open that line of communication because I had expressed like, you know, how I just really had no connection to the team whatsoever. They did invite me to do some stuff, but then I was like, oh, you know, I don't really feel good about it right now. It just feels like reactionary, you know. In some ways you're like, oh, well, you just complained about this and then we're trying to fix it and you don't let us fix it. You know, there's something slightly hypocritical in that, but at the same time, the timing just felt suspicious or incorrect or whatever. So I kind of like said, hey, you know, let's revisit this later and maybe I'd be happy to participate in some official events or whatever. And we have since revisited that, and I think I'm cool with it. Like I just did the Golden Gauntlet tournament, which is kind of a third party thing. Like, you know, I didn't work with the Marvel Snap team directly. I worked with like the tournament organizers or whatever, but it's on the official channels and stuff. And then I think I'm going to do another little thing here in the near future too for Marvel Snap. So it's like, you know, I feel like in a good enough spot that I don't mind doing official stuff and, you know, lending my name to to Marvel Snap stuff. So, you know, I guess what I'm saying is that's evidence of where I'm feeling, if nothing else. So I'm curious if that's true. Like, if you guys do feel that way as well. I will also say, like, I think I used this anecdote on Alex Coach's Snapchat the other day, but I noticed how many of you are coming back to the game and revisiting Marvel Snap, because I see a lot of comments that go, oh my gosh, Regis, you lost a lot of weight since I was here last. Because some of you probably haven't noticed. If you watch me every day, you probably haven't really noticed the weight loss. But if you've been gone for a year and a half since I started the weight loss journey, and then you come back, you're probably, well, not probably, you are definitely like, oh my God, what happened, Regis? You look totally different. I mean, here, let's just do this. Like, let's just get this over with, right? Like, come on. Who is this man? He's a different man, right? I'm trying to get my face close to my face. Let me make the same face. So, you know, imagine you quit the game a couple years ago, right? You watched my Agatha video, you quit Marvel Snap because you were frustrated. You come back now because, like, the game's more interesting to you. You know, you heard about some returning player stuff. You come back, you join up, and it's like, oh my God. I see those comments all the time now, which I didn't used to, because I think there are more people returning to Marvel Snap. I think they probably did some, like, advertising around returning players. People are coming back and they're expressing that surprise. So it's like a little data point for me, this weird little data point where I know that people are coming back to the game and seem to be re-engaging with it, which I think is really good news. You know, I think from a creator standpoint, like our views kind of were all tanking for a long time there. They seem to have roughly bottomed out for me. Like the downward trend seems to have kind of stopped finally around, you know, I'm kind of in that like 50,000 view range, 50, 55. Some get up to like 65,000 or whatever. Some kind of get stuck at like 40, 45, but not too often. Usually around 50, 55,000 views average right now, which, you know, it used to be at like 90,000. So it fell, but it had been losing like 5,000 a month average views for the last like 6 months or something, you know, trailing back to Kid Omega stuff almost, I think. But now it seems to have kind of leveled off the last couple months. Dare I say that? Let the dogs out. Who, though? Who let the dogs out? I guess I did if it's my title, right? That's the joke. So anyway, all things, I guess what I'm saying, all the like data points that I have, both qualitative data, you know, the comments, the anecdotal experiences, that sort of stuff, and even some of the quantitative data that I have, suggest that Marvel Snap has kind of found its level a little bit with a player base. I guess I haven't looked at the Steam charts lately, which was another data point I historically used. I mean, those actually don't look quite as good. Guess we can pull these up. Now, as always, the caveat with Steam charts, right, is that, of course, this is not the actual player base of Marvel Snap. I would imagine 95% of Marvel Snap players mostly play on the phone. So this is not, you know, there's only 3,000 people playing Marvel Snap, right? But we should assume that this sample size is large enough that it's somewhat indicative of a trend line. Of course, PC players and mobile players are distinct enough that their behaviors could be separate and unique. I would actually argue that the PC players are actually more sticky and more likely to play the game, because if they're playing on PC, they're probably a little bit more invested, although you could maybe argue the opposite of that as well, is that it's like, you know, you just play on your phone, you pull it out. PC, you're maybe looking for alternatives or a more engaged player as opposed to a casual player. So I don't know, but roughly the trend line anyway for Marvel Snap has been down over time. You can see it started kind of falling hard after the Kid Omega stuff back in the summer. It's kind of leveled off a little bit though. This might be you know, this is like gonna get bumped up probably when Tuesday happens, because Tuesdays are more popular. We don't have a week of data yet anyway on the 10th. So I think this is actually not the lower data points. I think even this is sort of suggesting, yeah, the player base has leveled off a little bit. So yeah, I think you never know, right? You never really know, but Marvel Snap seems to have found its level. You know, a new game could come out and disrupt that as always, right? I think that happened with Pokemon Pocket. That happened with actually Shadowverse a little bit, I think. Coincided a bit with that Kid Omega stuff and kind of was a 1-2 punch there in like June-ish. That lined up. But what I'm saying is I feel good. Am I crazy that I'm just not getting any variance, by the way? Aren't we supposed to get like a fixed amount of variance? Here we go. Oh, morph. action figure variant. So like I've talked about this before, but I'll just remind you guys, I used to be an action figure influencer. Before that was a thing anybody called it. I was a writer. I ran my own website for action figures, writing and photography, I guess, but I did like reviews and all kinds of little articles and stuff. This was like a fairly popular fan website. I think if I was smarter at the time, it probably could have been my job. I did end up writing professionally about action figures after that fact, but my own website probably could have sustained me if I was smart and knew what I was doing. Anyway, in a past life, I was a big action figure guy. I actually wasn't the biggest Marvel Legends guy, despite Marvel Legends being historically one of the most prominent action figure lines. Been around 30 years now, almost. I was more into DC Comics, so I bought, at the time, what was DC Universe Classics, which was kind of Mattel's version of Marvel Legends, which is Hasbro's action figure line. Started out with Toy Biz, but now Hasbro. Anyway, this is all boring. The takeaway here is I know a little bit about action figures. I know a little bit about action figure photography. And although I'm not as into it as I used to be, I still keep up a little bit with the action figure world. That said, I think these are terrible variants. Let me get to the point. I hate these variants. I love action figures. I love the way action figures look, but these are not well done. Because as I recall looking up when these first got data mined, these are just the press shots. These are Hasbro's official press shots of the figures, which doesn't remotely surprise me, right? Like, here we go. This is the press shot for Morph. This is from Big Bad Toy Store. Which, you know, they're like promotional press shots. They're rarely ever the best action figure photography examples. And in fact, it looks to me like since they were not only a press shot, but maybe had the background cut out and a new background placed in, which doesn't look very good. The lighting match is bad. The lighting is frankly just too harsh. This pose is terrible. Like, you're seeing his crotch holes. Like, you don't want to see his crotch holes. That's a quotable line, by the way. Nobody wants to see a man's crotch holes. Like, why is this the pose? You know? These are all not great poses, frankly. None of these really jump out as great poses. But if you want to, like, here, I don't know, let's just literally Google action figure photography real quick, right? Like, I'm sure we'll find some better examples of, like, action figure photography that looks dramatically better. Honestly, there aren't even that many great examples jumping out at me right now on Google. I've seen some great examples. I could dig a little deeper to find. Okay, well, here's one, right? Well, that's not really that good. Okay, this one is actually still better. Let's just show this one. It's not, it's honestly not perfect, but, you know, it's kind of indicative of what's possible, right? Like, oh, well, actually, here, these are all great. The down below is actually insane. Like, look at these awesome Spider-Man shots, right? Way more dramatic posing. The lighting match with the background is better. It's actually, like, in a physical setting, you know? He's got, like, these, like, water tower dioramas and stuff he's on. Like, every single one of these looks 1,000 times better than this, like, morph press shot, right? So I'm sure they had to use the official versions because some kind of agreement with Hasbro or Marvel or rights issues, lawyers, blah, 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 you know. But man, they just don't sell action figure photography well, because there's some, like, sick action figure photography out there, dude. Look at this. Cool. This is a sick looking Dark Knight. Oh, it's too tiny though. You can't see it. I just accidentally saved it to my wife's Pinterest, but that's okay. You're like, look how sick this looks, dude. Like, this is so cool. Great lighting, great compositions. Like, yeah, just boring anyway. So, sorry for that 10-minute aside. Just not great photos is the takeaway. And I think it really undersells the figures, makes them look lame. I mean, that's not the most exciting figure in the world anyway, for the record, but, you know, there are some nice looking Marvel Legends figures. I need to get a sponsorship with Big Bad Toy Store real quick. I mean, like, even this, though, is an official press shot of Spider-Man, right? And even it looks way better, right? Like, it's not perfect, but it looks way better than that morph, you know? Maybe it's, I don't know, maybe it's just these specific figures that aren't that interesting. Oh, by the way, I have to get these sick Gamerverse figures, dude. I really want these Marvel vs. Capcom. This is just the coolest action figure I've ever seen in my life. Even these have, like, better poses, honestly. Still not the best shots, but honestly, still cooler looking than that morph. Like, this actually looks pretty good. Dude, that's so sick though. That's so sick. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting distracted. Okay, I accidentally left up a booster, but that's funny because I had an extra reserve anyway. Perfect. Respectfully, woof. Ooh, Viv Vision Chibi Cyberpunk. All the things I hate. I don't hate Viv. She's okay, I guess. Cyberpunk's fine too, but I don't really love the Cyberpunk variants too much. Uh-oh. I had 2 boosters. That means I might only have 99 reserves, guys. You might be getting ripped off. Oh, I just got ripped off with the Dinosaur Doctor Strange. That's for sure. Awful variant. Just awful variant. Credits. Oh no. Why am I not clicking all the boosters? I think I owe you guys 2 more reserves, which means we also might be short on our variant count because I think we usually get like 11 or 12 depending on how it splits. Open to work. I think I have enough credits. I could probably get a couple extra reserves, so we'll fix the problem. Hydra Stomper Chibi. Oh, yeah. The worst variants today. We got Viv and Hydra Stomper in a deck together though, which is kind of a cool idea. Bury me in a Hulkbuster suit. Oh my god, that's another booster. I don't know what I did. I usually click these so well and just save the boosters. Maybe, oh, one day my daughter was playing with it. Are you kidding me? I missed half the boosters. Oh, that's a sick variant. I mean, it's kind of... compositionally, it's like a little confused on the left. I wonder if it's from a comic panel. It's not quite as like in your face compositionally, but I think it's still such a sick design that you don't really care. You're like, I'll get over it. Maybe when it goes 3D too, it's probably better. 4th generation underachiever. Aim for my glowing weak spot. All these tickets. Oh my, I think I owe you guys like 5 or 6 boosters. I mean, reserves. I don't know how I left all these boosters up. They like go in and add these later. I went dumb, I guess. I don't know. Scream. Okay, we got a Scream Hydra Stomper variant deck. There's been a lot of Scream variants lately. This one's crazy how it's got this like background. What is that background in context? Like the danger room or something? Like, you know, looks like a piece of graph paper. Sure, it's something, but I don't know what it is. Did she like escape from a laboratory, I think, or something I read? Maybe it's like the laboratory background. That makes sense, I think. I'm gonna say it's that. Hopefully we don't get any duplicate characters, right? That's always annoying, but we can always just go back to my latest variants to help us build out our deck, no problem. Ooh, Black Bolt Dan Hip. Okay, I wonder if that's another Cosmic Dan Hip. Is he considered a cosmic character? I didn't see it pop up. Baron Mordo, and is that our final reserve? It is, okay. So I'm actually gonna step away for a second here. I got plenty of credits. I'm gonna just do a few upgrades and then I'll come back and open a few more reserves. I probably need like 4 or 5. All right, I got 6. I think I got 6 more. That should get us close enough to call it a day. 150 credits. Boy, oh boy. That's actually a pretty cute portrait. Lockjaw. My daughter certainly always loves the animal characters anyway, I know. Can I get one more variant? Can't. Huh, let's see how many variants we actually opened. I might want to do a couple more reserves. Let's see. No, I actually think we got, let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's fine. We'll call it 11 and then we'll use this Captain Carter chibi I seem to have gotten. Actually, this is a what if, but not a, it's not chibi? I don't know. Anyway, we'll use that and we'll make a deck out of these 12 variants. Let's see. Black Bolt, Scream, Daredevil, Hydra Stomper, Viv Vision, Morph, Magic, White Widow, Meek. Oh, we got 2 Daredevils though. Oh shoot. Okay, so we may have to go back to Mockingbird. Mockingbird's not exactly the strongest with this package. Morph, I guess, technically supports it. Boy, this deck's real bad though, dude. I feel like normally I have like some kind of little cheese card. I think in the past we have added like Airshim or something too. Boy, this might be one of the ugliest variant decks I've ever played on top of that. There is not hardly one. I mean, this is actually a pretty sick variant. But it's just kind of like normal comic book art almost. Nothing about it really jumps out at me. I guess this magic's pretty cool. Disco magic. Kind of fun. Meek, actually, I do like. This one's pretty nice. But yeah, most of the... I guess Scream's okay. This Daredevil's cool. Most of these kind of suck, though. I should rate these also from 1 to 5 stars. I usually do that, too. I forgot. Black Bolt, 3 stars, 3 stars, 1 star, 2 stars... 4 stars, 1 star, 1 star, 4 stars, 3 stars, 3 stars, 4 stars? Yeah, that's probably right. Okay, let's give it a go. Let's see if we can win or not here. Okay, we got a Chimichanga, sure. Meek is basically useless to us, unfortunately. I have already played a game, by the way, but it was against a very, very boring bot. Honestly, if we play a good bot, I won't care, but a very boring bot was not my vibe. Let's put Chimichanga down for Mockingbird, I guess, right? Yeah. Do we leave a spot for Carter, perhaps? Yeah, maybe so. Carter left looks pretty good. She's never going to be that strong unless you hit an early Viv or something, but... dude, my rank is so tanked from that quadruple Silver Surfer deck, by the way. Woo! Tanked the rank. I think 5 holds usually. I think we're totally fine to just leave this. I think Mockingbird can... Oh my god, maybe I'm wrong. Jeez. Oh, a C3 deck. That's gonna be a pickle. Oh, the Chimichanga even putting the Bast in the 3, man. That is brutal. And 6 goes off too. Jeez. Dang, dude. Thought 5 was gonna hold. I could not have been more wrong. I guess I didn't think that 2 of theirs was gonna be free just like mine. Yeah, Mockingbird here. Maybe Black Bolt discards a Cerebro? It's not crazy to say. Sometimes they hold those till 6, right? Cosmo. Okay, that means Black Bolt, I guess, is going right, maybe? Morph, pretty useless for us against in a Cerebro world. White Widow denied a little bit by Cosmo here. White Widow kind of denied across the board. Sentinel and Cerebro. Okay, well, I guess we're not discarding Cerebro, so we already know Right's gone. I can't even play this mid because it's pointless. Carter just doesn't do enough, right? Is there any way for me to give the opponent more power? Thinking, is there like a morph? You know, I've seen Rogue running these decks, but I would want to morph the Rogue, the Cerebro, which of course Cosmo denies. So it's not looking good, guys. It's really not looking good. I just don't have any way to get big left. I don't think there's anything from Morph that wins. I think we're just kind of always dead. Which, normally, you know, we've done okay in these videos of these variant decks, but I'm not gonna fake it, dude. My rank has already suffered enough. If I lose 3 in a row, that's what's going up in the video. At least you'll know it's legit. I ain't gonna fake it, dude. Like, it's hard to beat Cerebro decks, man. That's for sure. Oh my god, dude. Wait a minute. How close are we, dude? Wait a minute. Oh no, we're 1 off. No. I was thinking I had Supergiant for some reason. Oh, Makari also coming in to create the tie anyway. I was thinking I had Supergiant for some reason. I forgot I played 2 3s. Maybe I was better off with White Widow plus Supergiant. We just, you know, we were trying to high roll. Like, they did actually have Rogue, by the way, but just not an hand. Yeah, we actually would have won if we played Supergiant White Widow. Because we would have had 11 to 8 mid. 11, you know, I mean, we would have had enough left. Oh my god, I could have won. I threw. I just had to see the morph. And it killed me. I could have won. We could have actually beat Cerebro 3 with this deck, which is mind-boggling. What the heck? What the heck? All right, Meek. Yeah, I don't know, Meek. Go wherever. I'm probably just gonna always put Carter next to you, so. Very hard for me to get a good Mockingbird. Literally just morph. I mean, there is no... That's still just a 5/9. That sucks. Morag also sucks. Daredevil also sucks. Hood... I mean, Black Bolt could get rid of a late demon, maybe? Morag turned off, I guess I would prefer. Just, I don't know, it's already going to be kind of hard to support this Carter without the Meek. Maybe she has to go left now because of Morag, right? Like really throwing us off. Yeah, I think so, actually. It sucks to lose Atlantis, but it's not really going to matter anyway. We know the opponent's going to have to commit here too for the hood, so. Or it's going to get turned off anyway. Let's go. Anything good off Morph here, I'm thinking. I don't know. This is probably Black Bolt right. I don't actually hate Black Bolt left. I just hate that it shows your hand. Like, it's, you know, you're locked in. But I just don't really trust Mockingbird to win anywhere else is the problem. I mean, you know, Black Bolt's not going to, like, be enough right either. So you need to, like, you know, save the Mockingbird for right and somehow hope that holds. But, I mean, even the second Victoria hand is already going to be 7 power. I mean, magic hurts us more than it helps us, right? There's no way. My best play on the final turn might be like magic and then morph mid and somehow hope that the morph holds. But you know, what would it even be, right? This deck doesn't usually run a lot of big stuff. Then I just have to assume Black Bolt holds as well. That's a Lady freaking Deathstrike. Are you kidding me, dude? I can't even beat a Lady Deathstrike. Are you kidding me, dude? I can't even beat Lady Deathstrike. These both go away. This actually is alive. I think that's how it works anyway. So I'd only be leaving 10 power behind. I mean, I guess like technically this still pulls me ahead, but not really. Not functionally, right? Demon is gone, okay. So I don't know what their hand looks like exactly, but I'm ahead 10 to 7, 1 to 0, and like technically ahead 9 to 7. So it's like, how flexible are they? Very flexible, because Victoria hand is already 7. That leaves 4 energy behind. There's just no way I win this game. Hear me out. Hear me out. What's in their hand? They got 6 cards in hand. I mean, is there a decent chance that like Morph is actually kind of big? It's like I really regret playing the Morph last time. It screwed me. I could have won if I didn't. So I'm like, I'm thinking like maybe they just leave mid. Maybe they're like, hey, I get strong right, I flip left, they leave mid, and we just win mid with Meek, and we Mockingbird left to double down left, and we just win like this. Oh, something went mid, so we lose. We lose always. Killmonger destroys the Meek. Oh, it's just an X23 Killmonger. Are you? Oh God! I guess we would have lost a tiebreaker anyway if I really think about it. So well, no, I was planning to win mid, but yeah. I mean, the double down. I mean, God, dude, what ridiculously low numbers, by the way. They basically did nothing, and I still can't win. I mean, it's not a surprise. It's not remotely surprising, but man, final game. This Meek is in hand every single time, dude. Can I draw different cards? Just be like Sanctum Sanctorum right now, please, God, please. Yeah, it's like halfway there. Do we just load up here with a Viv, or is the opponent actually gonna play there? So maybe I move away from there to get stronger elsewhere, because they're gonna commit to vault early, right? Ravona? Oh, Mr. Negative deck we definitely cannot beat. Oh, they're getting total garbage. Oh, you can't. Oh, I'm not good with Onslaught, but them not having it does make me a bit happier. I'm a little worried about stuff like Iron Man now, though. White Widow could be kind of annoying for like an Iron Man deck to some extent. Magic, oh boy. I mean, I'm still worried about like Moonstone, Mr. Fantastic. I'm worried about Iron Man. There's a few problems, I think. Basically a few problems. I mean, White Widow here probably technically makes more sense, but I really think I need Viv to keep winning to have any chance this game. So like, I think I'm just gonna go White Widow right. It could still be disruptive because they may just not be very good at developing like 4 cards, you know. Ah, Mystique whips. Okay. So Mystique coming into hand. So we're still thinking about Iron Man, Mystique. Viv is holding on, so just big numbers here are possible. Magic I don't really love. Daredevil we can't really disrupt. I could maybe fake a snap on this Daredevil, right? Sarah. Not particularly relevant, I guess, right? I don't have space for one big card in each of these spots. That's not gonna flip right, so we know White Widow's, or excuse me, Viv Vision's fine here. Onslaught Hydra Stomper, like, technically does work if Viv moves. Onslaught Captain Carter is actually even crazier though, so maybe I should leave a spot for Carter there. But I'd have to draw her next turn and play her next turn, which is also, it's just not really probably where I want that to be anyway, you know? Like, I'd probably prefer that's elsewhere. Black Bolt could maybe get rid of like a Mystique. But is that better than just playing these big old buff boys, you know? Wow, we actually did hit the Carter. Does this work if you go Carter, Magic, Onslaught? Like, it's such an overcommitment and it's like in such a weird spot. I mean, I really think you're just better playing the guys, right? Morph, though, is pretty cool, too. Boy, I wish I had the Morph now. If I had Morph now, I would totally go Carter Morph. There's just no way to know where the power should go, right? Like, there's just no way to know. I can't play Morph and Onslaught together, so if I want the best numbers, I have to just play the biggest cards right now. I feel like this is so isolated, though. Like, it's just like we're so, you know, locked in. Oh, boy, Iron Man already mid. I played my biggest card here, and it's going to be the easiest spot for them to flip. Now, they don't necessarily have a lot of, like, oh, Wave lets me play a Morph. Wave lets me play a Morph. Hydra Stomper gets buffed. Does this work somehow? Morph hits like Gore or some garbage? I don't even know. Oh my god. What do they have mid? I don't know, dude. Left is like enough that they kind of have to contest. They don't have any more crazy discounts. Like, Sarah's good, but not like crazy discounts. Ravonna, they probably already used all those pieces. Can Morph hit something nuts here and steal this game, dude? Oh my god, Morph, please, dude. Please, Morph, please. Wait, oh wait, that's fine, right? Is that fine? That's gotta be, no, it's not fine, no. Oh my god, Morph hit a freaking Jubilee, dude. This has been my week at Marvel Snap, man. Oh, it's really close. I don't really see a better way out of this, right? Like, the Carter Onslaught thing, in hindsight, you know, if we'd known there was going to be exactly a wave, I could have still gone for that. But this Jubilee, I mean, honestly, yeah, if I had gone Carter Onslaught left, Viv would have moved over there to fill in. So we would have had a full spot here. That would have almost certainly got to 22, right? Although I guess Carter would have only been 1 power, so the Onslaught really wouldn't have added a lot of upside. Would have made Stomper also slightly bigger. I don't know, man. I don't know. I just don't think these variants had it. The only slight good news is that we don't have to look at the ugly Morph on board. It becomes a Jubilee. Well, at least you know these videos are legit, because there it was, 0-3 with the variant deck. I think that's the first time we haven't at least won 1 game, and we've often gone like 2-1. So we tried. Hopefully you enjoyed the robust discussion about Marvel Snap and action figures in the meantime. But anyway, thanks always for joining me, folks. Good luck out there in the world of Marvel Snap, and I guess I will see you around.